All right, welcome back to Real Cast Fishing. Your host, Glenn, with the City Banana Fishing Field Team, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, what I got for you? Well, this is the Fishing Ramblings episode, our version of, well, just talking fishing updates and whatnot. Bear with me, let me lift up my seat a little bit here. Okay, and some of the key things that I wanted to talk about is some fishing updates on what yours truly has been up to these past few days, if not weeks. Earlier when we were talking about doing some 3D printed lures and getting those posted and being able to fish those. I still have a few of those that I'm working out, but that is well on its way to some fun stuff, especially with the upcoming warm weather shift from pond fishing back to kayak fishing out at our local lake. On top of that, I've been working some inline spinners. Mainly the Panther Martin variety, where you don't have to worry about using a clevis. Instead, you can just put the blade directly onto the lure, and making those in about the 1/16 ounce size and getting some good luck there. And then I've been shifting over to some, and you'll probably see some of these, some quick tie fly ties where I showed a demo on how to tie a dubbing loop fly, a damsel fly variant that doesn't use rubber legs. Instead, it has this kind of hackle-like portion for the forward section of it and simulates more of a bug or whatnot that, does work well on bluegill. And so we've got that. And then I do have another one that's coming out that also talks about the foam spider. And then there's another one that I had posted about using the whip finish tool. And hi, Candler Destroyer. Hello, how's it going? Just talking some fish ramblings, just an open forum here, just giving you some updates on some recent happenings from the team here. And that said, excuse me, what I've done is take this one damselfly, and depending on how the bluegill are reacting to it, sometimes I fish it dry, other times I'll kind of snip the tail off, and that kind of works for me well too. And then as I'm prepping for the upcoming kayak fishing season is what I call it, I'll go to our local lake and start prepping for, or these next few weeks I'll start prepping for doing a couple of things. One is kayak fishing using a trolling rig where I'll set a pole in front of me, or I'll use two trailing ones behind me, put some bells on there so you can hear the fish when they strike. They'll indicate that they're on because I can hear those bells jingling. Initially, I'll set them in front, and I'll be able to also see those as well. And then I'll also do some bottom bouncing where I'll drop a slab and jig rig, work a point, and just start back paddling, watching that vibration or at least that movement on the rod tip, and pretty much tell you that you got a good strike there. So do check out some of the older videos where I've done that in the past. Basically bottom bouncing slab and jig rigs at various points at our local lake. And then, of course, I've got these self-setting jug lines where I can deploy them fairly quickly. I'll pre-bait them, and then I just throw them out and just basically sit back and watch success happen, seeing if anything strikes. And so that'll be here in the upcoming few weeks, because my old pickup finally had to be retired. Bottom line, it was totaled when someone hit it, and I have since replaced it with it was a 96 Tacoma. Now it's been replaced with a 2024 Tacoma. So I should be able to be out, back and about, hit and be at the local ponds as well as the local lake for some fishing things. Wondering how everyone else is doing out there when it comes to the fishing, at least in your area. Any particular things that you want to call out, definitely do so. It's an open forum. Fishing Ramblings is this portion of our podcast. Do check back, though. I will do it's the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing series, where I'll go to the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing and just go through 5 tips at a time. This next one that I post will be tips 91 through 95. And basically it's read through the passage or the portion of that book and then see if there's anything to call out in particular. Let's see. Other things. that, most recently, what I've been focusing on is fishing the bluegill beds that we have in our area. Apparently, they are out there. They are spawning, and throw on some polarized glasses. I can work different ponds, and in short order, I can see these little saucer-like areas that have been cleared, which is indicating that bluegill is spawning, excuse me, or nesting on that particular bed. And I found that several things that have worked is initially getting a slow sinking fly to drop it in their bed and kind of drag it through. That seems to be the most consistent one, at least this round. I have shifted a couple times, fishing on the surface using some Bet's brim getters or foam spiders. That's been well. I did post a video not too long ago on the foam cutter. These are these ones that I picked up from River Creations. You can get them on Amazon. Back then when I got them, you had to go direct to the company, and it's got a little wooden deal, and you can push down there, and sure enough, you've got yourself a foam body that you can use. And I used 3 in particular: the damselfly, it's I think a Chernobyl tapered body, and then the beavertail grasshopper body. And what's nice about the beavertail grasshopper body is I can snip it and use 2 parts of it or 2 shapes of it and get get 2 different patterns out of it. And then from the 3D printed lure standpoint, that's been working well. The one standout of the ones that I've made so far has been the microblade, where it's basically usually you'd make it out of a sheet metal or some brass. These I made out of that PLA filament that comes with the right there 3D printer, and I was able to make some pretty good success with that, with some of the little bass and whatnot that were out and about. Speaking of the foam cutters, bear with me, I'll go grab the foam cutters real quick and we can talk about that. All right, I'm back. Okay, here's the foam cutters I was talking about right here. Okay, made out of wood. Got a real sharp sheet metal-like blade-like deal, and you can see the damselfly, and that is what it looks like. Uses 2 millimeters closed cell foam, and in short order with minimal material, you can already be out there, and especially if you're using some of that UV glue. Seconds after you've got that glue dried, you're already ready to go out there and catch a fish or 2. And this is that tapered Chernobyl one right there. Okay. And then here is the beavertail one. All right, now I was talking earlier about the beavertail piece. This is the shape, and you tie it with this being the head section right here, and this being the tail. You can secure it with this little piece here, or you can secure it here. It just depends on how you'd like it. Or I've done it before where I cut it right here so that I have a section that looks like this, and then I have a section that looks like that. And that makes some great foam spiders as well as grasshoppers and whatnot. And pretty much those work really well, especially as the bite picks up and warm things are happening at the local pond. Top water bites on, that seems to work really well. And like I was saying, you can get these direct from the company River Creations, or you can get them on Amazon. They're there. I think I've got a link in the other video. The other one and do stay tuned, I'm going to be posting the foam spider quick tie, or grasshopper quick tie fly. It's like a less than 1 minute video on how I tie it. I'll also be showing that damselfly variant, and that's another one that I've got. I think I've got it down to like 30-something seconds or something. So it's a quick tie, very, very fast, simple but effective pattern. And then the last one that I did on one of our live streams or rebroadcast of a live stream, was the dubbing loop fly right here. Okay. And all that is taking basically a hook, be it a streamer or caddis hook, and excuse me, taking a loop and using a dubbing loop tool, spinning the dubbing so it makes a nice kind of buggy look, and then you spin it, or at least tie it or wrap it onto the hook, and you get a nice little pattern like so. All right, and it's like a little scud pattern, almost like a gold rib hare's ear nymph, but easier, much easier to tie. I'll have that video out there too, and I'll probably follow up with maybe a GoPro mobile or mobile fishing live stream where I'll just fish that, and let's just see what happens on that live stream. All right, and I was mentioning that's where I'm using a dubbing tool. I've got it back there. Here, let me go get it. Okay, this is called the dubbing tool, the Y variety or model right here. But you can get all kinds of different ones, one that can spin and whatnot. I just use this one because that's what I got years ago. I did post some whip finish tool / how to tie it one manually for a whip finish knot right there. So check out that. And then I believe the next live stream that I do for our Amazon channel is I'm going to talk more on the nail knot tying tool that I posted years ago, but I think it's time to show you some other uses or how I use it, as well as talking about the whip finish tool again, but this time talking about make your own. So I bought this one, and the piece that always throws me about it is right here. This gap limits me to smaller size flies. You can buy larger ones, so you can tie a larger fly and whatnot. When you're tying that whip finish knot, this gap makes a big difference as you're flipping through it and being able to work the fly or the tie, the knot at the head portion. So what I find is just make your own, and you just pretty much get some wire, bend it like so, put a little tubing there, and there you go. I've got two of them that I made, one, and both of them have larger gaps that allow me to do a whip finish around the leg or mid portion of the body of a particular fly, be it a foam spider or a foam grasshopper. Again, I still use the 2-finger technique as well, the manual, but I just decided to make that because I saw something about someone making one, and it looked pretty straightforward. So we'll talk about that next round as well. Okay, so that said, that's pretty much all the updates I wanted to give this round. Unless anyone has any questions, comments, any things that they want to bring up, certainly welcome to throw them at me. I'm over here in the North Texas area near Dallas-Fort Worth in the city of Allen. Particular locations that I'll fish in this area is Lake Lavon, Lake Texoma, the tail race up at Denison, which is the tail race to Lake Texoma. And then in the winter months, make that run across the border to Oklahoma to hit up a couple of trout fishing fisheries. One that's seasonal, the Blue River up in Oklahoma, and the other two are year-round, one being up at Broken Bow or Beaver's Bend State Park in Oklahoma, as well as the Lower Illinois River, which is the tail race to Lake Tenkiller up near Gore, Oklahoma. Those are the year-round fisheries. We do make a run down south to a couple places. One is the Guadalupe. That is a year-round fishery here in Texas for trout. And then we'll make a run over to Galveston and typically fish that area. Usually fishing one of the piers because we do like doing some pier fishing. And last year we ended up catching a fairly nice-sized stingray, as well as some various bull reds and some sharks as well. Let me go and shift over here. I think I got some of my poles over here. Right over there are some of the gear that we use when we make that run to Galveston. And then behind is a bunch of fly fishing stuff that I've accumulated that I tend to use. And you can see there's more up there and there, and then in front of me as well. So I got a lot of poles, but bottom line, that doesn't mean anything. It just means you need to get out there and do some fishing. And hey, this last few weeks has been a little bit rough for me because I was low on a vehicle, but now I have it replaced. So If some of y'all have been following me for a while, I used to be driving a old 96 Tacoma, just short of 300,000 miles on it, and ended up getting totaled. And so I replaced it with a new Tacoma, 2024. And hopefully that'll get me a bunch of miles, and I can, again, get on the road and show you some of the things that we're doing. I've been focusing more on the mobile fishing stream, mainly because I can stream from my phone on the go as I'm out and about, and be able to just show you what I'm fishing or how things are doing for a particular location. And if you can't stay for the whole live stream, do check back, because what I'll do is I'll re-edit it and either come back as a shorts version that gets you the action that happened during that particular round, or a longer version that just shows you what happened over that period. Could be an hour or two, but it'll be shortened down to less than 5 minutes. And I think the last one, I just posted it this morning. It's called Bluegill ASMR. That's one of the live streams that I did, mobile live streams from the phone that I've now edited and rebroadcast as a standalone video. And that one's a good one because, one, it shows the action that can happen when you're fishing some spawning bluegill while they're on their beds. And kind of the backstory on that one is, in that video, I'm doing well. I'm catching or missing, but I'm getting a consistent action on these bluegill. They're striking. They're doing what I expect for a bluegill on beds, where they're just ready to attack anything that comes within their little nest area that they're protecting. But before that, I only caught like 2 fish in about an hour period, and that was working another bluegill bed where they were just very, very, very finicky. It's like you even getting the fly through that bed, they just didn't want to strike. So hit or miss. So backstory on that is I fished one set of bluegill and it was tough. Went to another in another pond, but in that same area, and I had some great action. So do check that video out. All right, I think that's all for this round. If you have anything, do reach out. I watch the comments, or I monitor the comments and whatnot. And then you can always reach us at from our channel, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And then you can also join on some of these live streams and just reach out at that point too. So, and then next round, be looking for the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing series. We're going to go start out with tips 91, take us 5 tips, 91 through 95, and hopefully that'll get you good information, excuse me, about fly fishing and some of those tips that are offered there. All right, all for now. Till next time, we'll catch you all later, and good luck and good fishing. And thanks for joining.